need to, build some type of community of mindset shifts. Like, it's not, you can't do it, but how can you do it, right? So that's why I hopped into that space. I obviously have a really good why in my story, and obviously I can tap into that as well. But in addition to that, mindset really reflects, also in business, so Krista's very good at consulting me in my business side, and I'm very much the positive person that comes and executes and does a lot of whatever really is going to elevate us. So THC Girls has helped me build my own brand, in addition to also helping everybody else in a mindset shift, because everybody does deserve that. Everybody deserves to have a second chance at life, whether that's in health, mind, spirituality, whatever the case is. We're all going through this human experience, and we're so happy to be here and, have people like yourself to tell our story and have a platform. So yeah, that's in a nutshell.
I love how you approached your intro with such humbleness. And I think you bring up a good point about the way that we connect in this industry. I think it's very unique to any other space that I've ever been in. We generally come from a healthcare setting. So even though we deal with humans and health and wellness regularly, we don't approach humans as humans, more like widgets. And so when I entered into the industry, one of the first things that needed to happen for me is that mindset shift and being able to recognize my own healing that needed to occur, and how pivotal it was for me to be able to embrace myself in order to be successful myself, if that makes sense. So I guess my question for you is, what is your background story? You mentioned the postpartum depression, you mentioned the struggles of motherhood, but what is your why story?
I lost my brother 4 years on December 7th was his anniversary. 4 years ago, I lost my little brother. He was only 23 years old from pancreatitis and other health challenges. We come from a Mexican background where the man really doesn't have a say in feelings, really, because it's always what's the next step to get this money, make it happen. He struggled coming out 100% fully. I fully 100% know that now, whether that's facts or however I got that info. And he also was trying to, get this money and do life right and have fun at the same time. So when he passed, right before that, I had entered, personal development. My life, I feel the universe was preparing me for what was going to happen, which not only the death of my brother, but what actually the mission was. So when that happened with my brother, I already had some type of personal development in mind. So I was already pushing him to have some type of mindset shift. And he always avoided that part of me because it made him feel uncomfortable. So because I didn't have experience in what exactly a coach was, right? I didn't have any training. I just knew that I loved motivational quotes and I had personal development and I wanted to push positive vibes all day. And that's how I was gonna live my life. And so when I was pushing that, I felt a lot of pushback from him because he was like, I'm not with that. So he continued his journey in however his lifestyle was. So when he ended up passing, it was very shocking, right? He had mentioned to us that he had went to the doctor. He was feeling a little inflated in his face, he was very inflammatory. And he had mentioned gastritis. And I was like, well, if you have that, then you need to stop doing this. So then I felt like I was mommying him more. If anything, well, why aren't you doing this? Because, I have postpartum depression. So I'm being very mom mode. And so anyways, all this and all pushed him back. He went to the hospital December 5th, passed December 7th, around 7 a.m. And it was a very spiritual awakening for me. I obviously felt him in a very spiritual way, right? Obviously, I felt him leave this earth, but I felt that he left that with me. So I had a lot of guilt because I knew that he needed help, but instead of talking to him about it, I felt like I was more telling him just what to do rather than listening. So when that happened, I started getting a lot of more personal development and also a lot of awareness of health and what was going on with my culture, what drugs were being used, all this stuff, because we ended up finding out exactly what it was with him. He did a lot of drugs and he didn't have a really healthy lifestyle, but he loved his life. He traveled, he partied, he smiled. He was like the fresh breath air of the room when he walked in. So I was just very confused. So all in all, my mission is to gain awareness, not only in health, but in life, to people, to let them know that it's okay. Like, you're perfect in your own way. You just need somebody to help you guide through this human experience by audits and honesty. And I'm not here to tell you what's wrong. I'm here to tell you what's going right and to keep going and to push through that mindset shift so you're able to succeed in life, whether that's career, personal development, business. And this is how we can collaborate really well with, the THC girls, and it's all in alignment, right? And not only that, like, I'm now learning by my own, human experience. And I want to teach that to others. I want to let them know that you can be blunt. You can be very transparent about what the hell is going on with you, because only that way you're going to wake up and you're going to do something about it. And it might save your life. And so mental health is a really big portion of all that. So that's how it all ties together.
These experiences are very unique, and I feel like most people that I've run into in this industry have at least gained awareness of the what that drives them. Is all this stigma, and the general population really just doesn't bang with the idea of cannabis to begin with. So for you to be in a space that's generally stigmatized and to find success, whether it's through alignment with the right people or is through monetary success or, whatever, branding yourself, like, you have to be in a really solid, aligned space to be able to move forward in a way that doesn't resist who you are. I think that's probably the biggest thing, connecting with people and finding the ways that you can connect that that make you feel full. Like, you don't always want to feel drained. Once you find how you do that, you'll kind of see things fall into place too, because all of a sudden, all the things that are your deficits, and you guys kind of are a testament of that too, all the things that are your deficits, other people kind of come in, swoop in and support you in the way that's their strength. So I feel like for the most part, the only reason why I have ever went from point A to point B to point C is because somebody pulled me along.
If you find these conversations empowering, then you may want to join us in the Highline Tribe. We are a community of nurses and healers who are seeking alignment. Try the tribe today for a step towards a transformative journey towards wellness and knowledge. See you on the inside.